Grand Rising, everyone. This is Dailies, your host. On her YouTube, Everything Happens for a Reason by Myra Kirschbaum. Waking up to your mission. Maybe you're like Grace. The meaning of what you went through was so you could discover your mission, and you're already discovered it. Or maybe this is your meaning, but you haven't yet discovered your mission. Maybe the very idea that your mission, you have a mission, is is a new one for you. Either way, you need to see if this is the reason why have you gone through what you did. Please answer the following diagnostic questions to see if this reason fits you. I'm gonna take my glasses off. Put them up here. Let's go. Have you always had in the back of your mind a desire to make a sacrifice for something you believe in? Growing up, did you get the message that you have to do something big and important with your life? Do you sometimes feel you have to justify your existence as if living your life and not hurting anyone weren't enough? Is every is feeling proud of yourself something that matters a great deal to you? And when you think of feeling proud of yourself, does it always feel connected to do something that will make a difference? Have your heroes typically been people whose lives are defined by the intensity with which they've lived or how they stood up for what they believed in? If you answer yes to three or more of these questions, then the reason you've gone through what you've gone through is so you'd be freed up to live your life with a special intensity based on something you wanted to accomplish or a way you wanted to live. This doesn't mean you have to devote your entire life to fighting for a cause. And it doesn't mean that the cause has to be one of the that's meaningful to anyone but you. Hold on. It should be volunteering at your church, synagogue, mosque, or temple. It could be working with your neighbors to plant flowers to make your street beautiful. It could be traveling to every remote corner of the world. It could be living in such a way that you never have to time for television. The point is though that you're not doing it just to keep busy, but because your friends are doing it. You're doing it because you see deep within it's something that gives meaning to your life. And you know you need more of a sense of meaning. Today we'll be reading Beyond Guilt. Excuse me. Finding your passion has nothing to do with guilt either. It's true that some people who've gone through tough events feel guilty. As I know all too well myself, they may feel guilty that they've survived or they didn't prevent what happened. We need to do there. There are many reasons. Sometimes when we feel guilty, we feel we need to do something to spite our guilt. But here's what I've learned: if finding a cause to believe in and fight for it is not the reason something happened to you, then it won't do anything for your feelings or guilt to fight for it. So you don't need to feel guilty for not taking up a cause because this is not what you were meant to do. But if this is a reason for you, then finding something you believe in that you want to do something about will give you more than just relief from guilt. It will give you hope and direction because you'll have found your meaning. Let me see. Hold on. Okay, we'll read Finding Your Passion. Your passion. I can finish this chapter. I'm almost at the end of this book, but I've had this book since 2010. I read it the first time. I read at it. I didn't read into it. When you read a book, read in it. Feel the book. Comprehend and apply. Finding your passion. For many people, this revelation that the meaning of what happened is so they can live life with a special intensity is all they need. Now they can understand why they've been living with so much intensity. Other people now find that they can make sense of feelings that were a mystery, or so that what I've been missing, I've been needing to live life with full intensity. No wonder I felt so restless and stifled. Still, other people might now feel they have permission to actually go forth and act on the sense of mission they've always known they've had. Some people, though, need a little something more at this point. They understand the meaning of what happened to them. They can feel their need to live with a sense of intensity, but they don't know what to take their passion. They don't know what their passion is. This is an important question. All my years working with people have shown me that lots of us have a desire to do something special with our lives. And that's where we stop. Special. How? Where? With whom? We don't have a clue. We know what we care about, but we really care about too many things. We don't know what to do with our caring. After all, missions mean having one specific thing you care about and a focused way to act on your caring. I know personally how tough it can be to identify your mission. As a child of a Holocaust survivor, I was haunted by many of the same concerns other people like me had. We didn't want anything like the Holocaust to ever happen again. We didn't want people to forget what had happened. We wanted the needs of the survivors to be taken care of. And we realized that the children of the survivors had needs too. We wanted to address those needs as well. So when I was 30, I joined an organization called One Generation After. It was a very it was a way for children of Holocaust survivors to come together and do something about the concerns I've just mentioned. Finally, I had a cause and I threw myself into it as I do with everything. I became head of the group's speakers bureau and gave talks everywhere. I was so happy to be involved in something I believed in so much. But the process of discovery started that I couldn't have predicted. When you have a cause, you have to attend meetings. What I found was that I truly hated meetings, and then I hated myself for hating the meetings. Hmm. What kind of child of Holocaust survivors was I if I couldn't stand meetings with our parents had withstood so much? There was clearly a conflict between many sense of mission and what was required to carry it out. This all came to head when I was asked to represent our group at a very special event in Israel. Holocaust survivors and their children, relatives, and friends all came together for a historic commemoration. The emotional highlight was to be an event at which everyone placed a red rose on the special site at the Holocaust Museum in Jerusalem. So we could all do this. Thousands of us had to stand on a long line for hours in a hot sun. As I stood in line, my rose and I wilted under the sun. Something in me rebelled against this mission I thought I had. It was a mission that originated in people's being made victims. It was about their victimhood. It was about my placing this victimhood close to the heart of who I was. As I saw that this mission was not me, the deepest possible sense, my entire career as a therapist, research, and writer has been about fighting people's sense that they're defined by their victimhood. The very reason I was writing this book is to help people come to terms with some event from their past so they can let it go, move forward. And once they're extracted from it, the lesson it had to reach them. Finally, my turn came. I placed my rose on top of the others. Soon it would be lost under all the roses carried by the people behind. All I knew I was done with this mission that had never really been mine. Staring out of the window on the flight home, I realized something new about the meaning of my surviving when so many others had died. I came back from my trip with a total shift in focus. I did have a cause to fight for it. I, I needed a cause to fight for, but commemorating the past wasn't my cause. In my entire life, I've never had a hero whose life was devoted to remembering the past. All my heroes had been people who saved lives, but I was already saving lives in my own way as a therapist. I could never save the lives of people who died in the Holocaust. I could never give my mother a childhood in which she was loved and taken care of, or youth that was filled with hopes for anything other than survival. But I could help other people. So we don't always know our passion when we're starting out. It's easy to think something is our passion when it really isn't. Really, mm, really isn't. Hmm. It's, it's easy to think something is our passion when it really isn't. But can you can but what can you do? If you know your passion, if you know your passion, you know it. But if all you know is the reason something happened is so you can have a sense of mission, all you can do is make your best guess, throw yourself into it, see how it feels. And if it doesn't feel right, find something else. This is exactly what everyone else who finds his or her passion has done. But don't sit around waiting for it to come to you. I do have three strong pieces of advice for people who are looking for a way to focus on their enormous intensity. I base this advice on stories I accumulated over years of people who are happy with their mission in life. First, think small and close to home. The personal and the immediate always seem to be more meaningful to the people than something abstract and remote. This is why, for example, people often take a mission connected to people and events that touch their lives personally. Also, by thinking small and close to home, you're more likely to act. Now you can understand why so many people who are fueled by their own intensity start their own small businesses or nonprofit organizations. Second, it's actions, not good intentions, that produce satisfaction. After her husband died of colon cancer, Kate Curry had a colonoscopy live on the Today Show to dramatize how important it is for people to get themselves checked and how doing so was not a big an ordeal as some think. If you don't know what to do with your sense of mission, don't worry. Most people aren't sure what to do with sense of mission. Don't worry. Most people aren't sure what to do. But if you do something, no matter what, you'll be more fulfilled. Plus, you'll learn more about in what direction to go. It doesn't have to be gigantic commitment. I'm just talking about doing something. And third, please yourself. This might seems like strange advice, but finding a full intensity life isn't always about helping others. Your mission can also include helping yourself. The people who've accomplished the most and gotten the greatest satisfaction out of their sense of mission were the ones who most listened to and tried to please themselves. That's not being selfish. I think, for example, an English woman, Gladys Eller, the hero of the book The End of the Sixth Happiness, which is based on her life. She was undereducated servant, but she had a dream of serving a missionary in China. Only that would please her. Every possible roadblock was thrown in her way, but she wouldn't let anyone talk her out of her dream. Eventually, she got to China where she did amazing work caring for children and saving their lives. If there's contradiction between what you have to do, please yourself, and what it means to think small and close to home, please yourself first. The two sections I read about was waking up to your mission, beyond guilt, and finding your passion. Remember to smile. Catch Coach Carter Nicole on Coaching Matters YouTube as well as Patreon. Remember, take care of yourself. Do something different today. Peace.